You recognize the face immediately. You remember where you met them. You remember what they do. You may even remember the story they told you about changing careers or adopting a dog. But their name? Nothing. Your mind starts searching. Was it Daniel? David? Darren? You smile, keep talking, and avoid saying anything that requires using their name. Meanwhile, you are hoping someone else will say it first. When this happens repeatedly, it can feel embarrassing. You may wonder whether you are careless, distracted, or bad with people. But forgetting someone's name does not always mean you were not listening. In many cases, the problem begins before the name becomes memory. When you meet someone new, your brain is processing more than you realize. It is reading their face, voice, expression, body language, mood, and social role. Meanwhile, it is trying to understand the situation. Who is this person? What should I say next? Do I look confident? While all of that is happening, the person gives you a name. The name enters your mind for a moment, but your attention is already divided. You heard it, but hearing information is not the same as storing it. For a memory to survive, your brain first has to encode it. Encoding means turning an experience into something that can later be remembered, and names have a serious disadvantage. Most names do not tell you anything about the person carrying them. Someone may introduce himself as Adam, but Adam does not tell you that he is a photographer, loves hiking, or laughs loudly when nervous. It is only a label. Your brain is better at remembering information that has meaning, emotion, imagery, or connection. That is why you may remember that someone owns 3 cats, but forget that her name is Sarah. The cats create a picture. The name may connect to nothing. This does not mean your memory is weak. It means your memory is selective. The human mind does not preserve every detail equally. It prioritizes information according to attention, relevance, emotion, and association. You may remember the feeling of a conversation, someone's personality, or their face while losing the name attached to it. Faces give your brain more clues than names do. A face contains the eyes, hairstyle, expression, and movement of the mouth. A name may contain only 1 or 2 unfamiliar sounds. So when you see someone again, their face creates a strong feeling of familiarity. You know that you know them. But familiarity does not always lead to the correct word. It is like finding the right book in a library and discovering that the title is missing from the cover. The memory is there. The label is not. For many people, social self-consciousness makes this worse. During an introduction, they are not fully focused on the other person because they are monitoring themselves. They are thinking about their posture, voice, expression, and the impression they are making. They may already be planning their next sentence before the other person has finished speaking. This is especially common in people who feel nervous socially. Their attention turns inward. Instead of receiving the moment, they begin managing it. The name may be spoken clearly, but it arrives while the mind is busy rehearsing, evaluating, and predicting. Later, the person thinks their memory failed. But the memory may never have been properly created. You cannot retrieve information that was only weakly stored. Stress, tiredness, and mental overload can create the same effect. Working memory is the small mental space you use to hold information briefly. It is useful, but limited. At weddings, meetings, interviews, parties, and crowded events, too many signals compete for that space. A new name may enter for a moment and disappear almost immediately. Yet people who forget names easily are not necessarily forgetful in every area. Some have excellent memory for stories, emotions, and conversations. They may remember that you were worried about your mother. They may remember an idea you shared months ago or the song playing when they first met you. But they may still struggle to remember what you are called. Different minds organize memory differently. A highly associative person may remember everything surrounding your name while losing the name itself. From the outside, that can feel personal. Names are closely connected to identity. When someone remembers your name, you feel recognized. When they forget it, you may feel that you did not matter enough to be remembered. That reaction is real. But the emotional meaning of the mistake is often different from the psychological cause. The person may remember you clearly. They may value the conversation. They may even think about something you said long after meeting you. What they lost was not necessarily the person. They lost the verbal tag attached to the person. Understanding this does not mean you should stop trying to improve. Names become easier to remember when you turn them from meaningless sounds into meaningful information. First, repeat the name naturally. When someone says, "Hi, I'm Michael," respond, "Nice to meet you, Michael." That gives your brain another chance to process it. Next, create an association. Connect the name to someone you know, a character, a place, or a simple image. The association does not need to be clever, it only needs to exist. You can also attach the name to a visible or personal detail. Michael with the silver glasses, Nadia with the red notebook, Sam who works in architecture. Now the name is no longer floating alone. It has been tied to something your brain can picture. But perhaps the most useful technique is the simplest. Give the introduction your full attention. Stop preparing your next sentence. Stop checking how you are being perceived. For 2 seconds, let the other person's name become the only important information in the room. Look at their face. Hear the name clearly. Repeat it silently. That tiny pause can make the difference between recognizing someone later and remembering them completely. And when you still forget, honesty is usually better than pretending. You can say, "I'm sorry, I remember meeting you, but your name has slipped my mind." Most people respond better to a sincere question than to obvious avoidance. Forgetting a name is a normal human mistake. It does not prove that you are selfish. It does not prove that you lack intelligence. And it does not mean that other people are invisible to you. Sometimes anxiety takes up the space where the name should have been stored. Sometimes your attention was divided. And sometimes your brain remembered the experience but dropped the label. The important question is not whether you remember every name perfectly. It is whether you make people feel seen when you are with them. A remembered name can create connection. But so can curiosity, kindness, attention, and genuine interest. So the next time a familiar face approaches and the name refuses to appear, do not immediately judge yourself. Pause, breathe, ask again if necessary, because forgetting someone's name does not always mean you forgot the person. Sometimes the person stayed, only the label got lost. Once you understand that, the awkward moment feels less like a personal failure and more like the imperfect way memory works. This is Mind Unlocked, where we explore the hidden psychology behind everyday behavior. Subscribe for more videos that help you understand yourself and the people around you more deeply.